This don't look like a vacation to you or what? I mean, heck, what is a vacation, you know? Why does the sun come up on one side and then set on the other, you know? Science. Mystery. The world of wonder. I don't even know what we're talking about other than I ain't got nothing to talk about. That didn't make sense? Or did it? Or did it? What's a vacation? I've been on vacation, guys. This last week or so, I've only allowed myself to work slightly over 40 hours. Nowadays, that's a standard work week, but you don't get where you want to be by doing standard work. You got to push. And this last week, I've done standard work week, which, because the week prior I did triple work week, and I was not burnt out, but we'll get to that in a little bit, you know. But the original question, does this not look like a vacation to y'all? Me and my family, we've gone on vacation once or twice. We went to Michigan for a few days. We've gone down to Texas here or there, and every time we do it, of course, my girls love it. I could go my whole life without going on a vacation and seeing stuff. I'd rather be in the shop working, if I'm being honest. I do it for them. When I've got a list of goals and things I want to achieve and we go on vacation, it's not very relaxing for me. I'm usually stressed to the max. This last week, what had happened was, now I'm warning you right now, I've got a lot I can say, but if none of the stuff I say ever leaves my lips, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Long story short, I was gonna leave y'all hanging on some stuff. I was gonna skip the second channel video again this week and just roll into next week's, but some of y'all like hearing, you know, what I've got to say about stuff, or you like the little updates of more of the personal side of things, and I can talk. Some say I have the gift. It's a gift, all right? The gift of gab. Oh boy. If anything, I can always make myself chuckle. Now, on a serious note, I didn't put out a second channel video last week. It was going to be the car show video that went out on the main channel. Mortsky was in it, and we'll get to that, or I guess that's all part of this. But long story short, the time me and him had together last week, after the car show weekend, we had a day each to do some recording if we chose to record with each other. And so Monday, we spent doing stuff on his truck again. We went and did a walk around at a junkyard spot or whatever. I'm sure all this will end up in his main channel video at some point. Or it'll end up on a second channel video, which he's already put one out, kind of showing his perspective from the car show. And if you ain't seen it, it's kind of cool. But anyhow, so we did his recording Monday. For my recording Tuesday, I chose to mess with the Model A because Mortsky's got knowledge about Model A's. I've never, ever in the history of my life worked on a flathead engine that I can think of. I don't think I have. So, Mortsky's good at breaking valves in them.
Well.
So I figured, you know, when he's down, he can help me look at it. I knew it had a stuck engine, and he's taken apart several engines. Y'all will see me mechanic on my stuff, but I'm usually not a let's rebuild an engine, let's rebuild a transmission. I like to let the experts there do the ding bong. Let the experts do their job, and I'll do mine. And what's my job? You know, whatever I feel like contributing to a build. I don't know. I like to fabricate. Y'all know that. And I'll put everything together, but I just don't like getting down in the nitty gritty, and I ain't set up for it. I don't want to buy special tools for doing all that stuff. And anyhow, I thought since Mortsky's been into some, we could let him help us get into ours. So that's what we did. And I'm so happy I made the decision last week to skip the second channel video. Yes, it sucks because no paid time off on YouTube, guys. You skip a week, well, if you're putting out 4 videos a month and you just average and say 4 weeks a month, you can assume automatically your revenue is going to drop by 25%. Consistency is key. That consistency is hard to maintain while doing a build, and here's what I mean. Second channel video, even if it's these ones where you talk by the time you edit and all that and everything we got going on, put that on top of doing a build, like the wagon build, guys. I can work on that wagon 5 days a week and stay hooked up on it and squeeze all the editing in and make a main channel video, and it takes 5 to 6 days to do it, to try to get that amount of work done for a good video. Now here recently I've been having to stretch it out because I can only afford to put 3 to 4 days onto it. However, the day we decided to tear into the Model A, and it proved it once again, I had enough footage from one day of doing a will it run, or is it stuck? Yes, it's stuck. Which I don't want to ruin it too much for you, okay? Don't let me be a spoiler here, because this will be this following Monday's main channel video. I got a whole video in one day, full recorded. And oh, by the way, this video is taking the amount of time as 2 main channel videos to edit because it's so lengthy long. I want to say, fair warning, it came out at like an hour 46. I was just firing from the hip on the guesstimate. An hour 40-ish guesstimate. That's how long this video is, which means the editing time has damn near doubled of what it takes, and my videos take a lot to edit. It really takes a lot to edit when you don't have someone who knows how to talk where the camera can hear you, and you got a couple guys whispering here or there, but you're having conversations. So now I'm slicing audio everywhere and equalizing and blah, blah, blah. It's what I'm doing at the house right now on my vacation. I don't know how many hours deep into editing on my vacation this week. And that's just the style of content, guys, the switch up of when we do a junkyard walk around. Obviously you're doing that in one day. Usually you can get it edited in another day or 2.5-ish, depending on how long the video is, of course. And boom, you got a video for the main channel quick. Now back when we were doing that kind of style stuff, more of the will it runs, the walk around junkyard stuff after finishing that old girl. Hey there, pretty mama. After we finished the Datsun, we swapped to that style of content for a little bit. We didn't roll straight into a build. And that's when I actually was putting out 2 videos a week on this second channel. And I was able to maintain that for, I want to say a good couple months I maintained that. The goal being to get it generating revenue where I could hire Nathan. And I've already explained all that before, and it worked, guys. It took a lot of work during that time. Basically, back then, I could have chose to have these vacations, working 40 hours a week, every week, but instead, I said, no, I can do a video a day for the first 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. I'll put together a video every single day. That'll leave me the rest of this, blah, blah, blah. And I just tried to, I doubled my workload till I was working 75 to 80 hours a week again. When doing an actual build, it's impossible to maintain just because, in my opinion, it takes 4 times the amount of work to always still get a 1-hour video for the main channel. So when I choose to do a build, I'm choosing to, 1, spend more money, because you obviously spend more money on investing it into a project versus just running around a junkyard or buying a clapped out beater to do a will it run on that you can get your money back out of and at least break even on or whatever. So you choose to spend more money. But more than anything, it's the time invested into a build. I'm not pointing fingers. I don't keep up with any YouTube channel hardly ever, guys. I solve murder mysteries at night. If I got a 5-minute window to watch YouTube before I go to bed, or 15 minutes, and I'm trying to turn my brain off from what I've got going on, after doing car stuff for 75 hours a week, I promise y'all I am not watching other car stuff. I've done enough of it. I don't care what other people's doing. No offense. I just like to escape it. But the whole build and the time versus the content you get, and the style of content that helps grow your channel and stuff like that, I think it's why you see other channels who drag home a lot of stuff, which don't get me wrong, we did, but they never really build a whole lot. And I would say since we've been on YouTube for our builds, we've done some pretty good builds, and we're just getting started because, I mean, we're mid-build. I still got a Lodestar to build. That's why I've gathered this. Still got a Model A to build. That's why I've gathered this. And luckily for us, that Model A one's going to start sooner than y'all's probably thinking, as far as we're getting pretty close on the wagon, and I said I'll jump straight into a Model A build. And there's going to be some change of plans on the build exactly and what happens, and we'll discuss that more in the future when it gets to that time, because we ain't quite there yet. And some of y'all's gonna love it. Some of you's gonna hate it. Some of you's gonna love it at first and then hate it. And it'll be an emotional roller coaster. As long as you put your hands up and yell woo, we'll get through it together, okay? Yeah, I have no doubt we'll get through it. I don't know if we'll get through this video because, you know, sometimes in my brain I see a straight path, but when I start talking, boy, we take turns, dips. Sometimes we have to do a U-turn and come back to stuff. But all of what I was just saying was, by putting out the second channel video as the main channel video, it saved my ass, because the amount of editing required for this next Monday video at 1 hour and 48 minutes long, I don't think I would have even got it done before Monday had I put the car show video out last Thursday. But that wasn't even an option because of the whole tornado situation here, which, if anyone didn't hear, me and my family's perfectly safe. But because of that whole situation, I had a choice to go help other people, or a choice to finish editing the video, try to upload it Thursday, and it still would have been posted late. No matter what, due to the situation of everything, I was missing one of my normal times one way or another. But instead, I'm glad I did it, because now I'm getting to focus energy on editing this Model A video to be the best that it could possibly be. And I have really high hopes for this video. And I know some people are got their pitchforks and their torches, and they're like, get Mortsky out of here, we don't like him. I'm done with you until you're done with him. And I'm cool, guys. You know, I ain't holding a gun to anyone's head. Me and Mortsky are legit friends. I consider him to be a very good friend of mine. He's the only person in my life who I can relate to from what I like on a personal level, but also from a business standpoint of who I can talk to and go, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? And vice versa. And I don't know what kind of business anyone's into, but I don't have a YouTube mentor, okay? He didn't have one either. We've kind of figured out our own paths. And I'm telling you, when it comes to being able to bounce ideas off someone, it's nice to have it with someone with experience. Because if y'all, you know, you can ask, you could try to ask the comment section or this or that, but guys, at the end of the day, unless you're in the same situation to understand some of the analytics behind it, and you see that information, it's really hard to ask someone for their opinion on, it'd be like if you're a plumber and all of a sudden, you know, you want to ask an electrician how to plumb, you know. It's like, not that electrician ain't smart, and he may know a little bit about plumbing, but it ain't the same as asking the guy who's been doing it as well. So yes, Mortsky will be in the Monday video. No regrets, okay? I'll be honest, I don't think we would have had the level of fun, and or because Bill and Slick come along for the ride too. Even at one point my dad pops in. It's a great video. I had a blast doing it, editing it. I think it's fun. I mean, it is literally, I think, what most of y'all relate to, which is your 3 or 4 buddies in the shop just BSing but working on something, guys. And I'm telling you, the video was a success. Now, I'm not going to tell you what was a success of the video, but if you watch the video and give it a chance, I think you'll enjoy it, because I get it. Mortski's a grumpy old man. You get him at his place and he's just like, I know carburetors. That's a 9642 and come here, Duff. But down here, he's fun. He's a fun guy to be around. Anyhow, it's a good, energetic video, and I don't think anyone who watches it's going to be very disappointed. So I'm glad Mortski was in it. I think he, is definitely part of the success of that video and what y'all's going to be watching Monday, and I hope you do like it. And I'm glad I waited, because it allows me to do my best job that I can do on it for you guys, and I'm always trying to provide the best entertainment we can. I'm also glad because, like I said, if you only give me 40 to 45 hours of stuff to do for a week, and I'm used to doing 75 a week for 2 years, guys, it feels like a vacation. Just like this old Rochester here. Do you know this is the first time I've ever stopped and looked at one of these carburetors in my life? That is a fact. This is a GM Rochester carburetor. It was made in the USA, and patents have been applied for, so don't try to knock it off. You copy this design, they'll get you. There's somewhere else on here, what'd they call it? Made in US, Rochester Ford Jet. I've always just had Rochester 2 barrels. This carburetor came off that 283 out of the 57 Chevy that I purchased, and more than likely it'll be going right back on that car, because it was running, driving whenever I bought it, so I don't see why not to leave it exactly how it was. But y'all ain't ready to talk about putting a small block Chevy in a Ford car, because the internet's gonna lose their mind. I like you, I think you're funny, but God bless it, you put that Chevrolet in that Ford and I'm unsubscribed, pal. Guys, I don't get it. I don't understand some people's logic. I'm not a rat rod car guy. I don't understand, welding chain and saw blades and stuff to old cars that could be hot rods. It's not my thing. I'm not just sitting here bashing it. I'm not gonna do it myself, but if that's what you're into, I'm not gonna treat you any different. I don't care what the hell you do with your car. You can paint that baby pink and put I like men on it and whatever. People act like you having that on your car would affect how they live their life or something, I don't get it. I told y'all, there ain't no telling where a talk could go. The old Puddin's perspective. My perspective is that as much as I like working, which I do, I'm ramped up. I'm planning me out a week next week to hit everything hard again. It'll be a 2-week break from the wagon, and we've been hitting it hard, so I was a little burnt out on the wagon, I ain't gonna lie to you. But man, this has felt like a vacation. I've enjoyed looking over carburetors. I've enjoyed, I had stuff to do with merchandise designs, that it's harder to, keep all of that flowing with my art guy, and then, what is ready to go to become a t-shirt or a sticker or whatever, I put off crap like that. An ad from O'Reilly's. They want me to do another one, and I hope people use this one, because I'm kind of excited about it, but I don't know, I think they're trying to catch me slipping. I think O'Reilly see me dance too much and they think they can catch me slipping. Well, I don't slip, O'Reilly's. I got the best subscribers in the world. And honestly, I think they know that, and that's why they keep working with me a lot. O'Reilly's wants to give me like a promo code, and this ain't the ad right now. I'm just letting you know that I got to do something for it here shortly. And they're going to give me a promo code that's going to save y'all I want to say if you spend 25 bucks, you're getting $5 off, which someone's like, oh, that ain't much. That's like 20%. You'll take out a credit card that only gives you 2% cash back, but if you save 20%, well, that ain't nothing. Yeah, it is. It's like if you need an oil change, you're due for something, boom, go get that, baby. You save $5 right there. But honestly, what I think's going on is they're also going to see how many people use it, where they have an idea of how many people I'm actually reaching. So I'd encourage y'all, when I do put that out, if you could, to use that sucker. It'll probably show them the, the reach I'm having, which they seem to think is a pretty good one. I hope it's a good one, because I actually really like O'Reilly's. I've used them since I was 14-ish, and yeah, it's cool working with them. I need to be working on that. That's something where I'm communicating with them today, trying to get all the little, ducks in a row. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'm not into the video right here, but I legit mean this, and I tell y'all all the time how much I appreciate y'all watching, but seriously, because if I skip a week on the second channel, you know, it kind of is what it is. I wish I could maintain it every week and during the build thing. Anyhow, you guys still come back and support, and you watch stuff like this, and just watching this video, it's not like the second channel's crazy revenue by any means, but if it, you know, generates where I can keep Nathan employed, and, you know, that helps with the merchandise and all that turnaround, then it's just amazing. And it takes the merchandise load off me. And, man, I guess more or less in the last few months, probably 5 or so, I'm realizing at some point I've got to have a break off of me. Because as motivated as I am, I can feel it taking a toll on me physically, my body. I hurt. I hurt a lot more the last 2 years than I did prior, even though I always worked hard and worked a maintenance job and worked on my days off still. The go with the amount of sleep that's allowed, because there's only so many hours in the day, and then the mental of being able to, not like I'm going to a bad place mentally, but I have a hard time staying focused. And some of y'all's probably like, shocker. But actually, when it comes to business, guys, a year ago, I was freaking laser straight. And now with stuff like remembering to get back with O'Reilly's and the merchandise stuff, I'm just foggy there. And it's hard for me to, you know, keep everything going, because ultimately, in the very end, this YouTube business, which it is a business 100%, the success we're having, or the ability to keep growing, comes 100% from putting out that Monday main channel video. At the end of the day, that is number one at the top of the list. Make sure we get a good hour-long video out, or close to, something to try to make at least one person out there in the world laugh, because they're going into their work week, and you know, you work that job, you go, holy crap, this sucks. I got 4 or 5 days left of this. And you know, not everyone has that, but I did that for a long time, and that became my mission, was to make one person laugh on Monday. If I get one person to crack up and it cheers up their Monday a little bit, you know what, mission accomplished. And everything's been based around that. So I've been trying to handle everything as much as I could as we continue to grow. But I'm not Superman. That sucks to say, because I try like hell, you know, but I'm not, and I got to have help. And yeah, that all goes into me rambling. But that all goes into what I was going to talk about next, was my health. Because I told you guys, you know, the blood pressure is up. It's always been up, blah, blah, blah. Well, they put me on some water pill, very small one. I'm only taking half a pill. The main thing I did, though, was I started paying attention to what I'm eating. I'm eating so much better. I feel better. My energy level's still low, but I feel better. So we've kind of realized, they said I'm low on vitamin D and testosterone, and both of those contribute to the not feeling as energetic as I did probably a year or two ago. But as far as the my triglyceratoris triangle, I know what it's called. It starts with a triglycerides. I think that's like if you don't burn a lot of calories because you're eating too much and it goes into your blood. Well, mine was of like a 50-year-old obese man. So as much as I could, man, I can smash some food, and I enjoy eating, and I wasn't eating very well. So I was just eating way more than I needed to be, and none of it was very good for you. And long story short, I've pretty well corrected that. Now, I ain't been perfect. We've had fast food once or twice, but for the most part, I've pretty well straightened that up. I had a doctor's appointment. What the hell? Got some dirt. Is that dirt? Ain't even done nothing. See, I get dirty on vacation too. Hell. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and it was like maybe 18 days after the first one or something. I don't know. But I've already dropped like 12 pounds. And he's like, you been working out? Nope. What'd you do? Well, quit eating junk. And anyways, blood pressure's down. I've had a couple readings because I've been watching it, and it's still at the slightly elevated, but nothing dangerous by any means. But I told him my goal is not to be on a damn pill. I'm not a medicine person. I've seen what medicine can do for people. It works for some. I'm not one who wants to live my life on it by any means. If I can eat better and, hold myself accountable, and that fixes my problem instead of relying on a pill to do it, that's what I'm going to do, because I have that choice. And yeah, I also know people who they take different medicines for different things, and it fixed what they needed, and it wasn't really nothing on their end that they needed to change. I'm just trying to see if I can change this myself in a more natural way, I guess. And boy, I've been drinking beet juice. They mix a little coconut water and orange juice and like turmeric. And I know you're thinking that sounds terrible, and I could drink like 10 gallons of it a day. I'd tear that stuff up. Sprinkle a little carrot on it, spice it up a bit. You don't get buck nasty? Put you a stick of celery in there. I was trying to say celery, and I think I said salary. That's what I should do. Tell Nathan and Ashley I'll pay them with celery. Be like, we're on salary? I said, no, here's your bundle of celery. That's what I said. Y'all dip that in peanut butter or cheese. It's pretty good, okay? Don't knock it till you try it. I could talk the paint clean off these walls. But yeah, like I said, I'm trying to get that in control or in check myself. And he said with some of the higher little readings I've had still, that he would give it a little more time. Keep checking it every day, and he gave me a goal of numbers to hit. And when I start seeing that consistently, he said, ditch the pill. If you don't need it, you don't need it. And something else we could talk about is, well, y'all know I was hot and heavy to get a loft going in the shop, and as you can see, not a bit of it's done, and it just ain't worked out yet, or the gentlemen who are going to build it have had time to come erect it for me. I think that's what you would say. Now, I did grab a beam the last time we went to the metal supply place, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with said beam. I contemplated putting the beam across there. Now, I do think it would be a few feet short, but I got another piece over at the house, and guys, it's just metal. I'll bevel them edges and butt it up and weld it up and smooth it out, and I won't be scared. We can plate it on top one way or another. So we could extend that and make it that length, and then we would have we could put like a little trolley thing on it, where we could move stuff. But then I was like, well, how often do I need to move stuff running parallel with this, drop in the concrete floor? It really don't much make sense to put it there. However, I also thought about running a piece that away in case we wanted to put something there. And I've also thought about putting something out over the concrete out there where I plan on storing heavy stuff. And, I'm hoping, I keep keeping an eye out, and I don't buy anything unless I think it's a good deal. And usually I don't buy anything unless I can afford it, guys. So I'm not one to finance stuff. Don't get me wrong, I had to finance the land and finance the house, but I'm not one to finance vehicles and stuff like that. My grandpa always told me if you don't have cash for it, you don't need it. And I think that's pretty wise. I understand in today's time it ain't practical for everyone. But even when our lives were very different 2 years ago, I applied that same rule. And that's what, we could afford that Yukon. And that's what we've been driving. We're still driving it. I'm closer to getting Mama a car. I promise you that. She's getting a house. That house is for her and them girls. I think y'all know I could live in a little shack and be happy. That house is for them, but I do want to get them a car because our Yukon, it is falling apart. And man, some things like I can justify, but then some other things, man, the little parts for those things are just expensive. And it's like the car's still working without it. And I've kind of let it go downhill a little bit, I guess you could say. And yeah, I want to get her a new car. I do. And anyhow, what were we talking about? Oh, that may go outside, but then at the same time, I'm hoping to find a affordable forklift at some point. If we have a forklift, then we probably won't be using beams and trolleys. So I was all pumped up to put that across there. And now practically, I don't know if we'll use it across there, but I don't think metal prices are going down. I know they kind of do this, but nothing seems to be really getting cheaper. I mean, I say that lumber went down when we built our house, but you know what? Now we've got beam for the next time we need beam, because I find myself in situations all the time where I need a 6-inch beam, 20 foot long, non-stop situations. And guys, please don't take that as like me trying to flex or say, I don't buy this unless I have the money to do it. Like, I'm thinking about that, and that's how I feel, guys. Like, I really don't. But then there's business people. Like, I'm not that kind of businessman. You know, there's business people who'll say stuff like, why would I pay off my house? The amount of money I would spend doing that, I know how to invest and I can make it return X amount percentage and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not that. I don't know different things to invest in and spend money here to make it there and blah, blah, blah. I just know what I do. And one way to really save yourself money is to not finance stuff. My wife tried to convince me that, well, and not like she had me in a headlock, but she was like, why don't we just go finance one now and then, you know, try to pay it off faster, or, you know, if you can pay down a large portion of it, try to pay down a large portion of it then. And I said, well, we're financing this house right now. We're financing that house right now. Next, it's a vehicle. And so then our bill came in for the spot now that I'm still paying on. It's a 30-year decent interest rate, like freaking 3.2. That's unheard of right now because everything's changed. But anyways, I show her, you know, we pay like $800 a month at that other place. Only $195 goes to principal. So I did all the math and everything. And what I bought the place for, what it showed my grand total was, it shows I've only paid like, what was it? Don't want to lie to you. $14,000 off. So the loan total in the last like 6 or 7 years or whatever. And she's like, but I showed her, you know, say $800 a month. And there's 12 months a year, 7 years, and you know, it comes out to like 56 grand or something. I'm like, so we've paid 56 grand, but guess what? Only 14 of it's actually went off of our damn loan. And that's why I just hate financing stuff, guys. It's how they get you. But if you know how to finance properly and you know what you're doing and you finance for this and it makes you money, then, you know, I ain't telling people what to do. And I don't want people to take me saying that coming across wrong. I don't know how to work that side of things, so I've stuck to it that if I can't afford it, I don't need it. And 2 more fairly quick things, and I will be headed back to edit this up real quick. I've had people kind of ask about some of the boxes. I noticed you got some boxes back there. What's going on with the boxes? Well, we'll talk about this more when we make it to moving into our shop probably. But I think I kind of explained this. This is an Icon. It's the Harbor Freight, but that sucker is nice, guys. If you're ever in a Harbor Freight, check out that Icon. I was more than impressed with it. And I got an end cabinet for each end. And I also got their little Predator generator. It's got the welding option as well, DC stick. So I thought that was kind of cool. And this was something where I actually did finance it. And the reason I financed it, and what I mean by that, I ran it up on my credit card because a subscriber had sent me a 25% off your entire order. And that is freaking huge savings. So, and there's a timeline on it. And I didn't have time to go to the bank and this and that. So I just grabbed my business credit card and that coupon. And I went out there and I maxed that sucker out. Now, is that a smart business choice? I don't know. But ultimately, with 25% off, and what my limit was, I probably saved like $2,500 that day to get stuff that was all on my list of things to get eventually out here, which was a generator with the welder and then a bigger toolbox for in here. So, yeah, I mean, I guess in that situation, you got to do what you got to do. Just depends on the situation and your situation and your, what do you call that, perception of your abilities. I don't know. It depends on you guys. Only you know you. Not everyone's the same. Not everyone's the same, but I know every single one of you watching are capable. And I truly believe this. Everyone in the world is, you know, there's no limit for a person who will really apply themselves and work hard towards something. I think anyone watching this can accomplish everything they put their mind to, and that don't mean you get it right the first time. If you ain't willing to fail, or you know, not see a return on investments and stuff right away, if you ain't willing to put in work, it probably won't come to a lot. But if you're willing to be dragged through the mud and, you know, fail a few times, I think everyone eventually will figure it out. You know, speaking of mud and being dragged around, that's what we've done with a lot of these vehicles here. And a lot of these, I talked about selling them. I made a deal with D&H. So these two are going away. Slick's wrecker's going away, but Slick found a better wrecker from D&H. That's also a 67 to 72 body, so be expecting to see one of them at some point. And then I think everything in the field is going away except for the box truck, the U-Haul box, Impala wagon, Lodestar. Told D&H to come get everything else. And I had a local buddy who just come and picked up the 68 the other day. I said, come get that thing. So other than that, the rest of those will be going to him. I had a lot of people asking, and I'm not rude if I don't respond to you on those guys. I always try to explain it in the video, but I just can't reply to 100+ messages and emails and everything explaining why each vehicle's going somewhere, or you know, the fact I ain't gonna have it. I just want everyone to know that that's where they're going. And you know, D&H, he's a wheeler dealer. He can do what he wants with the things. And yeah, they'll be out of here before too long. I say that, I think he's ready to start grabbing some, but you know, we got a lot of rain, so they may be stuck down there. I don't know, it's a little mucky. And I guess lastly but leastly, I let my buddy borrow the Torola as he got his transmission rebuilt. And as you see, we got the old girl back, so I ain't driven her in a while. I decided we'd bring her and blow the cobwebs out of her. Dale's Custom Woodworks has done back down in the Hucky Puck over there, and it's pretty sludgy. He's got 4-wheel drive and decent tires, but if he needs me to pull them out, by golly, I'll pull them out. So I'm actually going to pop in there and talk to those guys. I need to holler at them real quick, and that's going to conclude my rambling on of a second channel video. But I almost put out nothing to still enjoy my vacation, but I like doing this too, so I hope people watch this and it's still, you know, received positive. And I like the fact that some people say they like it, because I actually like just being able to talk to you all about my thoughts on things, old Puddin's perspective. We could make that a new segment. No, we couldn't. People would want to talk about controversial stuff and hear my perspective. And you know, even people I don't agree with, I don't really like upsetting people. You know, I just want to make, not that I want to make everyone happy, but I just want to be some joy, and we'll stay away from controversy. How's that? But anyhow, I appreciate y'all watching. I'm going to get this locked up, go talk with those gentlemen, and I will see you guys next time. But do not forget, talking to your camera on the second channel for 30 to 40 minutes won't finish your project. I'll see you guys next time.